The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is a TIP VIP Friday. Mike Tipton, Augustine Pimentel. Augustine getting in on the red eye last night to make sure that he was here to do the show, flying in from Mexico City so that he can be here to do the show, simply so that he can shit all over Victor Wembanyama, as what we were talking about in the beginning part. Before we started the show, we had like 4 minutes of pre-show, and it was Augustine getting ready to just take a huge shit on Victor Wembanyama. I see that Tommy's tuned in already. I know that Tommy's going to like whatever it is you have to say. So go ahead, Augustine. Start my day this way.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton and special guest, me. And this is how...
If we keep pointing to each other, it's got to be this way.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Stop it. I know you don't want me to get into the subject because, you know, getting on the plane, I was tired, long day. You saw what I had for lunch. It was pretty good, but it was different. It was good, but different. Here's the thing. Getting on the plane, sitting down, looking to my left, somebody looking at me going, "You're not going to say hello?" And I go, "Hey, man, how are you?" Ex-UTEP, really good friend, Miguel Ayala, who's now the coach at Franklin. One of the coaches, not the coach, one of the coaches at Franklin. And we were talking about, you know, how NIL changed the game. It would have been nice when he was saying that it would have been nice for him to be at this era. But here's the real question that we talked about. And this is a question that you should apply to all the players out there right now. And I specifically pick you out because I think Wembanyama is not at that level. Is Wembanyama a great player? Or here's the question. Or is he an elite player? There's a big difference. There's a huge difference between those two. And this is what I want. Is Edwards great or elite? Is well, and Tommy, I apologize. Was Nowitzki a great or an elite?
So I think you got like a couple of things there, right? Like that's where we have to bring context into things. At the end of his career, you can definitely say that Dirk Nowitzki was an elite player, right? Like everything that he was able to do, one of the greatest to have ever done it, hands down. The best European player. Whenever you can say you're the best XYZ of anything, then it means you're pretty damn elite. Whenever you look at like Anthony Edwards, I don't think that you can say Anthony Edwards is elite yet just because he hasn't done anything to kind of prove that to you, right? He's also been in the league for what, 6 years, 7 years, around that time frame, right? So that's where you would expect someone to take that elite step forward. Whenever you talk about Victor Wembanyama, yes, he's a one of one. You will never find a talent like Victor Wembanyama. It's also just his third year and his only full healthy season with the San Antonio Spurs, right? That's like there has to be context in there. Nobody would have said year 3 for Michael Jordan that he was elite. Nobody would have said LeBron in year 3 was elite. Kobe Bryant in year 3, if I remember correctly, had finally just started coming off the bench. And if you remember the 1998 playoffs, the reason why the LA Lakers, got beaten by the Utah Jazz was they go to overtime and Kobe airballs 2 3-pointers that could have won the game for him. Wasn't even close, right? So to get to elite, I think we have to look at elite like that level of player when it's all said and done or when they're on the downside of their career. It can't be.
Okay, here's my question. What players throughout NBA history started out in the league being elite? That you knew that they were going to be that player. I have probably 2, 3 in mind, but to be at that level already starting out, that's tough. And I got at least 3 on my mind, and I wanted to run this by all of you to see if I'm crazy.
Who would be your 3?
Shaq.
Okay.
Shaq. When you saw him in college, you knew that boy was going to be completely something different in the NBA. And then the ones I saw, playing, I got, and this is going to sound ultimately redonkulous. I know this. People are going to go, "What?" Hear me out on this one. LeBron, even though he didn't go to college, you saw that guy playing in high school, doing stuff that even most pros are tough at doing. And the third that I thought about, Larry Bird. Larry Bird, when he was at college, granted, I didn't watch that much basketball when I was that age, but looking back at Larry Bird's first season, you knew he was going to be elite. I didn't see Magic that much, but Bird, yeah. And if you guys want to correct me on Magic, tell me about Magic, because I didn't focus that much on Magic.
So the commish saying Jordan, Bird, and Magic would be his 3. I agree with you with LeBron, but I also, what defines it? You know what I mean? Because you bring up Shaq, and like I can say, yeah, the physical ability that Shaq had whenever he came into the league, you kind of knew that there was going to be some greatness there. Sure. Do you not forget, like he was, especially early on in his career, owned by Hakeem Olajuwon, owned by Patrick Ewing, owned by David Robinson. Like the first 4 to 5 years of Shaq's career, he wasn't the premier center in the NBA. You can try to say 3, but in year 3, he made it to the NBA Finals and was undressed by Hakeem Olajuwon. The next
Okay.
year didn't even get to the finals because he was undressed by Patrick Ewing.
Okay. Who didn't?
Went to Orlando or went to LA and got with Kobe, got with some, better coaching, that he became Shaq that we fell in love with. And that was like 99, 98.
Quick question there. Who did not get undressed by Hakeem?
David Robinson.
You're
They
talking about two.
they undressed each other. Whoa, calm down. But like,
Hey, no B Strilla on the show today.
but like it to me, it's like not as cut and dry. Like if you're just going off of like the physical ability, then yeah, of course, Shaq, LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, right? Like you knew that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when they came to the league, they were going to dominate the league. But notice how they have just like a physical ability that not everyone had. The reason why Jordan was drafted number 3 overall is because, people thought Charles Barkley was going to be better because he's a power forward, and that's what the game was at that point in time, right? So, like, did they live up to the expectation? Yes. We've seen a lot of guys come into the league. Greg Oden's one of them that had like a big physical stature. Michael Olowokandi is another one that, you thought they were going to be great dudes because of just the way the bigs played, and they wound up not being good at all.
So I'll give you a name that everybody considers elite, and I don't consider him elite. He's a great player, but Embiid.
I don't think I would challenge that anybody thinks Embiid is elite.
A lot of people out there, elite. I'm like, no.
I think you can only have like 1 or 2 elite guys per generation, right? Like for the 60s and 70s, you could say that was Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. In the 70s, you can say it was
Dr. J.
Who?
Dr. J. 70s and 80s.
Dr. J and Kareem. In the 80s, Bird and Magic by far. In the 90s, Jordan just by himself. He was in a different class than everyone else. You might want to put Hakeem in there, but Jordan was still so much higher than everyone else. Early 2000s, you could say Kobe. We see the emergence of LeBron. LeBron kind of bridges the mid 2000s into the late 2010s, right? And then Steph Curry, we see the emergence of Steph Curry. Now it's like Jokic, and I don't think Embiid has that type of skill set. You look at whoever might be out there to like take over the mantle from Jokic. Wemby would be that guy possibly, and then maybe Luka. But I feel like we are starting to see Luka on a little bit of a downslide.
Oh, Tommy, don't go after Tip on this one.
I want to read this comment real quick. Ashley tuning in saying, "Fellas, good morning. I have been catching up on some basketball and have been pretty impressed with these newer players. Not all of them, but I like seeing some of the grit and toughness. She must be watching San Antonio Spurs games, baby. Like that's what she's watching. Or Detroit. Detroit gives me a lot of those vibes as well. I did want to give a little bit of love to the commish yesterday. I don't know if you had already left at this point or not, Augustine, during the show, but I had mentioned why I don't necessarily care about the NFL schedule release.
Yep.
Right? Because you kind of know who your teams are going to play. The commish, along with Tommy, trying to drill it in my head that the reason why the schedule release is so important is because when buying tickets, when trying to get days off, when trying to do all these other things, the commish bought tickets to the Arizona Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys matchup, but didn't realize that it was in Dallas and not in Phoenix where he lives. So guess who's going to get 2 tickets to go to a Dallas Cowboys game because the commish didn't look at the schedule release that he was just bashing me over the head about, that he needed to have, the schedule release is so important.
That was not elite, commish. That was not elite.
Definitely not at all. Tommy's saying, don't talk bad about my Luka. I'm not talking bad about Luka. I'm talking bad about, his. Again, he's been in the league. Next year is going to be 8 years for Luka Doncic. Yes, he could be one of the elites, but is he available for you all the time? And that's the biggest issue.
But he's the small jar of mayonnaise compared to, Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic is the large jar of mayonnaise. Luka's the normal size jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah. I mean, if Luka If Luka didn't eat all that pizza and pasta in the offseason, he would have a chance to be a great one. But Luka still, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. But there's a definite distinction between good, great, and elite.
Yeah. And again, like, we can look at these guys in hindsight and be like, yeah, they were elite. In the moment, it's kind of difficult to say whether or not you want to that you can buy that. You know what I mean? So you look at Wemby. He has all the tools there. Outside of Wembanyama right now, who could that guy be that takes that mantle, that takes that next step forward? And I'm having a hard time identifying that person. Maybe it's Cooper Flag, but I got to see more out of Cooper Flag, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I don't think his game translates to being a game that people want to watch because of the way that he's a free throw merchant, right? Like we can just say what it is. He goes, he gets fouled, he gets to the free throw line, he gets his buckets. Not hating on the game, it's just not pretty. And if you hated James Harden, you have to hate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because they're basically the Spider-Man meme. So for me, it's like, it's too early to call anybody that's within like their first 5 years elite, right? We have to see continued success, continued progression. Once you get past that 5-year threshold, then you can start being like, you know what, that guy's elite. Because if you judged elite against Steph Curry the way that we're trying to judge it against Wembanyama, Steph Curry basically missed his first 3 years because of all the ankle injuries. He was a lot of people don't realize he was this close to not being on the Warriors, to being just flat out released because of how often he was injured.
Yep. and one more thing. In order to get to that elite level, because we have to be an NBA player, you have to be a really good player. The bench of the bench of the bench at the NBA could kick our butts with one hand behind their back.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Do you also need an elite executive staff to get the right pieces around you, like Wemby needs? For example,
obviously that has a lot to do with it, right? Because we've seen a lot of players that were what some people would consider elite, right? Like Kevin Love as an individual player on those really bad Minnesota Timberwolves teams. A lot of people would have thought that he was elite. Then you surround him with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, and you realize, well, maybe he's not elite. He's really good, but he's not elite because these guys are elite and really damn good. So, yeah, like you have to be able to build a team around him. And to me, the only way you can be like an elite guy, Tim Duncan, right? Like he's got to be up in that conversation. Kobe Bryant, you got to be up in that conversation. You've got to be the guy on your team
from day one.
Sustain success all the way up.
So here's my second follow-up question to you, Michael Tipton. How long is this show?
Oh, today's show, we're going to have a little bit of a shorter show today just because, as you can tell, I'm already in work gear. I've got places I need to be. We don't know if you know this or not. We got a really amazing baseball game that sold out in no time. That's happening today. I got like so many texts and emails coming in today being like, hey, my guy, I know we told you to come in at 1, but I don't think it's going to happen today, not at 1. So your boy's putting in what's going to be a really long day today. So we're going to do a little bit of a shorter show today. And I just wanted to let you know, Augustine, that I'm so happy that you're here right now, that I get to talk to you, that you get to be a part of this, because I'm about to hit you over the head with the tip.
I just want to put the tip in. It's time for Just a Tip. That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip. It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Augustine, you know as well as anybody that it gets hot, it gets muggy in El Paso. www.myhappynuts.com is rocket science for where the sun don't shine, making sure your boys are feeling nice and good. I slathered myself up today because I knew I've got myself a long day. And you want to know something? With as uncomfortable as it might be outside, with as uncomfortable as I might be having to do all these things today, my boys are going to be nice and comfortable all day long, smelling good, feeling fresh, no duck butter, no issues like that happening with me. And by the end of the day, it's going to be even smoother and better than it did to start the day. Augustine, how great is that? Go to www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs.
That was elite. That was generally, yeah.
One day, like, I'm going to write a script, and it's not going to be as funny as if I just come off the top of my head with it.
Oh, no. When you write a script, it's gone by the third word.
Mainly because I don't know how to read. That's what happens when you graduate from Socorro High School. You just don't know how to read. Okay, so obviously you've been keeping up with the NBA playoffs. I did want to talk a little bit about the schedule release because that happened yesterday. What are your thoughts on the NFL schedule release? You already know mine. I couldn't give two shits about it.
And that's me about it, because at the end of the day, you have to win the games to get to the playoffs. You have to win the games to actually go to the Super Bowl, and you have to win the Super Bowl to actually win the Super Bowl. Duh. That's a duh kind of thing. And
wait, you have to win games?
When you have to win games?
No matter when they're on your schedule? What?
Yeah. You can't worry about what other people are doing. You can't be like the commission and notice that the game is in Dallas and not in Phoenix or wherever it is.
Hey, I got 2 tickets and I got them for the cheap. Thank you, Commish, for not paying attention to the thing that you told me I should pay attention to.
But yeah, Commish, that was not elite. That was really, that was like, that was like UTEP at the old WAC conference. That was. No, wait, they were good back then. Dang it. How bad was that?
Eddie Arellano saying ouch to Socorro because I dared to make fun of my alma mater. Look, man, it's not making fun of my alma mater. It's making fun of myself. I like to laugh at myself. My apologies to all of my Socorro brethren out there, but they know how I feel. I got nothing but love for it, representing Socorro at all times, even whenever I don't need to be representing Socorro at all times. And I make Socorro look bad 90% of the time.
Hey, it's not like they can read what's on the screen anyway.
Got him.
But even to this day, and even in the NFL, I think we have to make that distinction of good, great, elite. Tom Brady, elite. Joe Montana, elite. John Elway, elite. Dan Marino.
I think whenever you look at elite, that's where you have to start bringing in the individual accomplishments, right? Like, what have they done? And I think that a championship has to be one of those defining factors, whether you're elite or not. But then look at it at baseball. Barry Bonds, we can say is elite, but he never won a championship. And again, I'm one of these people, like, I don't put a lot of weight in championships because it's a team sport. But if you're going to be one of the greatest of all time, and I guess football, because it's a little different, maybe that's what it is. Maybe baseball is just a little different because you have a ton of amazing baseball players. Ken Griffey Jr. never won a championship, right? Like, all these amazing players. Ted Williams never won a championship. Like, you can go down the list of, Hall of Famers, certified studs that never won a championship in baseball. I don't know if you can necessarily do that in football outside of, like, Barry Sanders, maybe. So is Barry Sanders outside of the elite conversation because he never won a championship? I think we got to define what makes a player elite. You know what I mean?
And that, putting that baseline, that's probably the hardest part of any of it, because here's a question. Was Terrell Davis an elite running back?
No. He was really good for a short period of time. I think elite has to have staying power, right? Like, a lot of people hate on him. Emmitt Smith, You can say Emmitt Smith was elite, if not the most elite. The 3 championships, the 18,000 more rushing yards than anybody in the history of the game, more rushing touchdowns than anybody in the history of the game. That is an elite running back. Yes, you can say how much of it is the Cowboys' offensive line. I assure you, Emmitt Smith would have been great on any team.
No, but we go back to the question of how good was your front office as well.
Yeah.
So here we're making that distinction, Tip, at least football and basketball, that in football you really need that great player with that great supporting cast, which was Emmitt Smith. And we go to Wembanyama when he doesn't have that supporting cast yet, but he's got Spurs fans believing.
Yeah.
And how elite is that? If one player can make an entire fan base go, yeah, we have a shot. Even the ones that aren't fans think that the Spurs should win this year's NBA championship. I don't care what anybody says. When you got a player that's the equivalent of a xenomorph,
yeah.
I hope everybody got that reference. The Spurs should win. Yeah, he's got a lovable supporting cast, but that's 7'8" wingspan of a Boeing 747, changing shots all over the court.
Tommy hating on the Spurs saying, nope, let's go Thunder. But he said, let's hoe Thunder. The Thunder are some hoes. I will say that right there. I look at Chet Holmgren. I know his hoe ass is just out there hoeing it up, being a hoe for show. That effort. I do not like Chet Holmgren just by proxy because Wembanyama doesn't like Chet Holmgren.
Well, and here's the thing. Regular season, and I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, Augustine, that's regular season. Regular season, the Spurs were 5-1 or 4-1.
4-1. Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the thing. I think Wemby is already elite because of what he does. If you take Wembanyama out of that team,
any team you put Wembanyama on is a championship contender just at the start of the day.
And that's the difference between a great player and an elite player. When you can put that player in any team, and that team is now your contender. If you put Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in at the Lakers, are the Lakers contenders?
Yes.
Okay. So is he an elite player?
Actually, I got to think about that now. I would like to think that he is, but the fact that you have to kind of question it a little bit, like that, just bringing up that little bit of doubt, that kind of brings in, okay, maybe he's not elite, right? Like maybe he's really fucking great, but maybe he's not elite. Whereas you put Wembanyama on the Lakers, you're thinking, okay, the Lakers are an elite, like that's a team that can win a championship. I do think Shea on the Lakers, and it would be like this version of the Lakers, right? Would have to be a championship contender, but I don't think there's a guarantee there. You know what I mean?
Well, there's never a guarantee in sports.
Yeah.
But at least you have that ultimate as a Laker fan, are you bumping your chest? Are you doing all that? Jason Tatum at the Celtics, were they elite this year?
No.
The Celtics?
No.
Would have they been better with their superstar, without that injury?
But I mean, honestly, I think out of the two of them that are there, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown might be the more elite-esque of the two of them. I think he's more important to that team.
So is Tatum an elite player, or is he just a great player?
He's a great player. Like he's a hard guy to defend against. He's a hard guy to game plan for. But I think maybe it goes this way. Whenever you're the opposing team, who's the guy that you're putting the highlight on, right? Who are you looking at and saying, this is who we need to stop? And I think when it comes to the Boston Celtics, it's not Jason Tatum. Most people are wondering, how do we stop Jaylen Brown?
Yep. Yep. I completely agree, Tim. I completely agree. That I think is the difference between being a great NBA player, which they probably all are, good, great, and all that. But to be the man, no, I'm not going to say it, Tip. You were
Oh, so
waiting for
I
it.
was waiting
You
for it.
were waiting for it.
I was.
Yeah, I saw your face. Very, very WWE and very woo. But in order to be the man,
Woo.
it's not about just beating the man. It's about believing you can be the man. And Anthony Edwards, for example, I don't think he believes that in himself yet.
I can see why you say that, and I think I agree with that assessment as well. But I think a lot of it also has to do with like your situation, right? But
Yeah, when you have 27.5 kids, it's kind of tough to think about basketball.
But I like because I was saying maybe Minnesota's not that type of franchise, but Minnesota's done a lot to build around Anthony Edwards. So maybe he just hasn't taken the step the way that people would want to see him take the step. It's kind of like Jimmy Butler, right? Like Jimmy Butler, we can say is a great player, but nowhere near the elite status.
Now, here's my question: where do you put Kawhi Leonard?
Really good. I don't think you could even put him as great. Like his peak was amazing, but it was so short. It's kind of like that Terrell Davis thing, right?
Yep.
Like we're talking about Terrell Davis. The peak of Kawhi Leonard, whenever he was like the defensive player of the year, an MVP candidate, finals MVP, it seems so long ago to what we have now. And he's still a really good player. Had season, career highs this year, 27 points. I think it was like 9 rebounds a game, played the most games that he's played in quite some time. But if Kawhi Leonard's on your team, you don't feel like you're an automatic championship contender right now. It's kind of the same with like Paul George, Joel Embiid, like a couple of guys like that. You put Jokic on somebody's team, like if you put Jokic on the Mavs, Tommy would be like, that's a team that's going to win a championship within the next year or two.
Okay. Here's a name that people forget. And I think the guy's a great role player, but I want to hear what people think. Robert Horry.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too, right? Like knowing your role. Robert Horry is without a shadow of a doubt. Well, I was going to say like a shadow of a doubt, like the player who knew his role the best. I think that's Ginobili. Like people don't realize if Ginobili had been a selfish basketball player, he could have easily averaged 30 points a game, man. He was coming off the bench, doing what was best for the team, and was still a Hall of Fame type player. Robert Horry's that same kind of guy. Robert Horry knew what he had to do to win rings. And he was going to be really good at what he had to do to win rings. And he retired with fucking 7 of them, right? Like it's insane to think about that. Robert Horry has that many championships, but okay, like, are you elite? Is it now a conversation of are you elite at what you do or are you elite overall? Because if you look at like Robert Horry, he would be elite at what he does, right? As a role player. Him, John Sally. A lot of people don't give John Sally the love and respect that man. Put some respect on that man's name. But like guys like that who know what their role is and play that role absolutely perfectly.
Bill Laimbeer.
Bill Laimbeer is that guy. I just don't like Bill Laimbeer. Fuck Bill Laimbeer. And it's not like a Pistons thing. It's just like he has just such an off-putting personality. I just gave John Sally love. Dennis Rodman, another one of those guys. Like he knew his role. Sure, you knew you were going to have a headache with him, but you knew you were going to have a fun time and you were probably going to win. You knew you weren't going to be out-rebounded. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the specialty players, for example, the Allen, he was considered a 3-point threat. I forgot his first name. Ray Allen.
Jesus Shuttlesworth himself. He got game.
You think?
One of the rare basketball movies I've watched. He got game.
No, I didn't watch that movie.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to put it on Netflix right now, see. Because you got to remember, it's my day off now.
I mean, Denzel plays his dad. Like it's a really good movie. Ray Allen.
Denzel's overrated.
Wow.
He plays the same character every movie.
He's gonna put a case on your ass.
Come at me, Denzel.
All right, Augustine, I'm going to have to end the show because I'm already getting my phone blown up right now. It is wild because, like I said, we've got some stuff going on. I might have been able to find people some tickets. So if you act quickly, I might be able to have a couple of tickets for you. But
he's got just a tip for you.
Oh, yeah. But first come, first serve. We'll see how that goes. Was that creepy? Did that one get you?
Yeah, that one got me. Yeah. Can you end the show, please?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. See y'all later. Have a great weekend.